you guys, welcome back to my channel and to another one. So in this one we are going to be talking about people pleasing. And most people pleasers will tell you how they give and give and give and never receive anything in return. They will tell you how other people never respect their boundaries even though they don't have any. But they won't tell you that. They will tell you how no one ever does for them, and etc, etc. But what they fail to tell you, and to be fair, most of them I think don't even realize this, are not perhaps introspective enough to see this, is that more time than not they're giving in an attempt to control. What you have to understand is that people pleasing is a learned behavior, okay? Whether people realize this or not, they have learned how to people please in childhood, right? People pleasers tend to be, in their majority, children who felt unsafe as children. They were around parents or a caretaker, a stepmom, stepdad, whoever it is, an auntie, that didn't make them feel loved, didn't make them feel seen, didn't validate them, in worst case scenario even physically or verbally abused them. They were literally not safe in this person's company or care. And as a child, your livelihood literally depends on the person who is taking care of you, right? So they've had to change themselves in ways that most of them can't even begin to explain to you, to tell you, in order to appease the caretaker, in order to be digestible for the caretaker, right? They have had to change perhaps the way they move. I know that as a child I had ADHD. I still have it as an adult, and I used to fidgetate a lot. I still do, right? Y'all can see the hand gesture thing. And as a child, I had an auntie around whom I could not do that. It made her nervous. She disliked it, and and I had to learn not to move, like literally. I wish I was making this up. Literally not to move when she was around, right? And because otherwise she would get physical with me, and etc, etc. So, and once you learn that, once your nervous system learns that you can influence people's behavior in order to be safe, you guys, it's important to understand that children do this for safety, okay? But they grow, children becomes adolescents and they become adult, and they don't always understand that they don't need to do this anymore. A lot of grown-ups don't understand that they don't need to do it anymore. As a matter of fact, I would venture to say that most grown-ups don't even understand that they are doing this. Most people pleasers are not even aware, in my opinion, that they are trying to manipulate other people. And why am I calling people pleaser a mean of control or a mean of manipulation? Because more time than not, it is designed to get a certain answer. One thing that you have to understand about trauma survivors is that they are excellent at reading people, like nonverbal clues. Trauma survivors, people who grew up in war zone, are very, very good at reading face expressions, body language, because they have had to become expert at that as children in order to remain safe. It's one of the reasons why trauma survivors tend to go on and be extremely successful in life. You can think of Maya Angelou, Oprah Winfrey, and you could go on and on and on. A lot of very, very successful figures have had challenging childhoods, and that helped them. It is my belief that that has helped them tremendously as adults, in their business ventures and or corporate, in order to climb the corporate ladder, right? I believe a lot of managers as well are, trauma survivors. And again, because we are so good at, noticing when the person is losing interest, noticing when the person is gaining interest, when what you're saying is something that the person is interested on, or what you're doing is something they're interested on or not interested at all, whether they're tired, whether they don't want to talk about it anymore, whether they're hungry, whether they're nervous, right? We are very, very good at picking up, non-verbal clues like that. And because of that, that helps us really be able to thrive in the outside world, have this a bit like an edge, I guess. It's one of the gifts, if I can call it like that, of trauma, is that you have a little bit of an edge, I would say, on other people, on people who've had a more normal, if I can call it like that, childhood. So people pleasing is about trying to get somebody to react in a certain way, the same way when you were a child you knew that by behaving a certain way that could alleviate getting a beating, or you know, being yelled at, being screamed on, going hungry, being cold, etc., etc. And a lot of grown-ups don't understand that, you know, they don't have to do this anymore. Or you see, it does not help that your nervous system is literally working against you. This is very unfortunate, but you know, our bodies, our brains, they are built to keep us safe, and this is why negativity is so much, you know, easier to retain for us than positivity, is because your body and your brain is meant to keep you safe, right? So what happens when you learn to, you know, change yourself and hide certain parts of yourself and mold yourself to be a certain person or appear a certain way in order to appease others? When you learn that as a child and become a teenager and an adult, what happens when you're the first times that you don't do that anymore is that, you know, you're gonna feel very uneasy, okay? Like you're gonna feel like physically like if something is wrong with you, like your brain is gonna fire alarms that your body is gonna give you, and physically you're gonna feel unsafe, you're gonna feel unwell. And it's so important to push past that, because the truth is the body keeps the score. That is an excellent book about trauma. If you're trauma survivors, you may want to check that out. And your body keeps the score. So once you stop trying to tiptoe around other people, your brain, your nervous system is going to go bazooka and fire off in order for you to go back to your old ways, because your body is going to feel as if you're not safe, but you are not a child anymore. This is so important. It's important to practice grounding and remind yourself you are actually safe. You do not need to appease other people anymore. It is not necessary, okay? And this is really, really, really important. It's important to thank the behavior, okay? Thank people pleasing, as crazy as it may sound, because it, you know, you needed it as a child. You needed that skill in order to survive, okay? But you no longer do as an adult. So it's really important to thank the skill. You know what, thank you so much for getting me, you know, through, you know, a very adverse childhood experience, but this is not needed and it's not necessary anymore. What we now need is boundaries. What we now need is put ourselves first. What we now need is self-love. That is what we now need, okay? So this is very important. So if you are, you know, a compulsive people pleaser of the worst kind, understand that you cannot control adult humans, not even children, to be honest, right? This is really needed in order to stop the behavior. You can't, and this is why people pleasers are always upset. This is why they're always disappointed. They're like, yeah, when my friend was sick, I brought her some soup, but then as I was sick, she didn't bring me anything. Yeah, oh well, she didn't ask you for the soup. You should have given her the soup as an act of kindness, but not in the hope that she would then, you know, reciprocate. That's not nice. That's not kind. That's nice, but it's not kind, okay? Learn how to be kind. Learn how to do stuff for other people if you so wish, without expecting, you know, anything in return. You know, expectations are the antidote of happiness. So in life, I would say, you know, a tip for y'all is keep your expectations low anyways. You know, this will make you happier, I promise. So stop doing that. Stop trying to, you know, another thing that I've noticed people pleasers tend to do a lot, they tend to try to buy other people's affection by giving them, you know, gifts. I know that, you know, I used to do this a lot. This is a form of manipulation, you guys, that I will buy something from Zara or, you know, Mango, whatever shop, and then someone, a friend, acquaintance, you know, would tell me, oh, this is so nice, I bought it for myself, okay, keep this in my, I bought it for me. And I would tell them, oh, you can have it, and I would give it to them. Like, this is so crazy. And it was compulsive too, because you can get addicted to this, you guys, like you literally are. So be very careful. You know, you can get addicted to the false sense of, you know, being a good person that it gives you, you know, the reinforcement that people say, oh really, thank you, da, 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 da. You can, your body can literally get addicted to that. So be very mindful. You know, the same way people are addicted, you know, to cocaine and stuff like that, you can be addicted to this positive, to this validation, this positive reinforcement of everybody saying what a good person you are, what a nice person you are, da, 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 ka, 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 ka. Really what they mean is like, how you're somebody without any boundaries whatsoever, and they can do and say anything with you. So be very mindful of that. Understand, if you are somebody who is trying to break out the habit of people pleasing, is that you can't control other people. Now, if you can think of instances where you felt like it worked, it didn't really work, girl. Either they liked you to begin with, you know, or they're just pretending that they are liking you in order to keep, you know, benefiting from whatever it is, whether it's the free ride or the free dinners, the free meals, the free clothes, perfumes, makeup, whatever it is you're giving them, right? But it does not work. So stop trying to do that. This is really difficult, but really, because like I said, your body at first is going to make you feel as if something is physically wrong with you. Your nervous system is going to make you feel like that. But I promise you, I guarantee you, if you push past that, you know, discomfort the first couple of times, that feeling is going to lessen. It's not going to stop at first, but it's going to lessen. Every time that, you know, you reinforce your boundaries, it's going to be less and less and less and less, and then it's going to disappear. There's come a time a day where you're not going to feel any form of anxiety around telling people no anymore, around asserting your boundaries anymore. So even if you do this the first couple of times and you feel very easy, all I can tell you is keep pushing, keep doing it, keep going. You are almost there. You know, your body will, you know, this is a new map for your brain. It has to relearn a new pattern, and it's gonna learn, but you have to keep doing it. You have to keep on going. And, you know, fun fact before I end this video is that, you know, if your goal is actually for people to, you know, I wouldn't say like, because you can't make anybody like you, but, you know, a lot of people complain, a lot of people pleasers complain about a lack of respect. And, you know, one of the surest way, easiest way to get people to respect you is by having boundaries. You know, I always say there is a defect in the human brain. In my opinion, there really is, because people are not wired to like those who actually, you know, are kind to them, are nice to them, attend to their every need. They won't, like, more time than not, even if they like you, they won't respect you. And when someone doesn't respect you, you won't feel liked by them. If that makes sense. Okay, you're gonna feel, if you know, you know, you're gonna feel disrespected, and you won't like that. That won't feel like love. It won't feel like okay. So actually, in order to increase respect, disappear, okay? I have noticed that, you know, when I stopped cuddling a lot of people, they actually started acting right. And it's sad, it's unfortunate, but it's really something that I've noticed, that people are very mindful of me nowadays. You know, they're very surprised when they ask me for a favor, and I say yes. They're like, what, really? Are you going to do this? These are people that used to take my yes for granted, you guys, but nowadays they know I'm the queen of no. Listen, no is a complete sentence. I'll say no, and I'll not explain a damn thing. Okay, ma'am, this sentence is complete. Okay, do with this information what you will, but it is what it is. It's a no for me and a mouth. So if you're actually trying to get people to behave, you know, right and respect you and behave the right way, you may want to try to actually, it's unfortunate, but being harsh on them is going to work better than being nice to them. Again, something is wrong with us humans. I wish we were not this way, but sadly we are. So if you are a recovering people pleaser like myself, understand that, you know, you're not an empath. I'm sorry, you're not an angel. Okay, what you are is somebody who is trying to control the situation. He is desperately trying to control the situation, because as a child you really needed to do that. So understand, you're not a child anymore. Practice grounding techniques. You can try therapy. I always talk about betterhelp.com because it's affordable. Therapy, $140 per month, I believe. You know, that is like one session with a normal therapy. And on that note, that's all I had on this subject. If you are a recovering people pleaser and found this video helpful, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up so that other aspiring recovering people pleaser can see it. In the comment section down below, let me know, you know, what are your top tips on how to stop people pleasing. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel as well. We discuss mainly mental health on here, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye guys.